All right, it's recording.
Okay, so my PLC project is all about guided reading groups. Our table of contents, if you want a copy of the slideshow, I can give you one after. I'm going to go over my vision statement, part 1 and part 2 of the project. So my vision statement, my vision as a teacher leader is to create a positive environment that increases student learning, specifically in literacy, as that's our school goal this year. My goal is centered on reading achievement, to intentionally have small group time with each ability reading group. I want to target my students' reading ability to increase student comprehension and overall reading confidence. We saw our K-Prep scores from last year, and basically they weren't where we wanted them to be, so I'm really focused on getting my middle and low readers up to grade level. This touches on exactly what I just said. Our K-Prep reading scores weren't very great, so that is one of my main focuses. And also, digging deep into a text, I really want them to just have a love for reading and really understand, like, comprehension isn't just about answering questions, if you can tell me what it's about, and then improving their comprehension scores. So my intervention is guided reading groups. This intervention will allow the teacher to work in a small group setting with different students each day to really dig into a text. And we're going to focus on different standards that group is struggling with. So I think I had 5 groups, and my low group, it was basically just telling me what the story is about. And then my high group, we really got into inferencing and things like that. And it changes each day or based upon the questions that they have. So I have a plan, but it's not set in stone. It's whatever the students need. So then my peer-reviewed article basically just talked about how guided reading gained a lot of attention over the past years. It supports direct instruction for students with reading difficulties. It goes along with your traditional instruction. So I still have my whole group reading, but then I also have my reading groups. Fontes and Pinnell suggested that a guided reading lesson has 4 major parts. You introduce a text, you support effective reading, you teach processing strategies, and then you discuss and revisit the text. So each lesson is only about 30 minutes. In the first session, basically, I give my students the book. We do a picture walk. We then, that's like engage them. Then we talk about vocabulary, words that they don't understand. And the books that I use, the vocab was always in the back. And then we read the book and discuss one activity or strategy, and then they read it to me. And then we go over any questions. And that's like day 1. And I meet with my low group twice a week. So then the next time I meet with that group, it's more intentional questions that I ask them to get them really thinking. So basically, how you implement it is when is their time. So in our schedule, we have a built-in skills time, and traditionally it's been only used for math. So I suggest that we start doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday for reading groups, and just Tuesday, Thursday for math. And with ours, we do about an hour reading block, and then the 30 minutes is for reading groups. It's based on their needs and abilities. So on Monday, I will give them a text, and they'll work with the same text all week. And each group will have a different text based upon their level, and then the strategies, as I mentioned before, are just dependent on that group. And then at the end on Friday, we all do a comprehension quiz based upon that book. And then, so that is where it takes a little bit of extra work on us, because my books don't come with set questions. You have to make them up. So I will have 5 different quizzes made by Friday for each of my groups. So my hypothesis before I started this was that students their love of reading will increase, as well as their in-depth book talks. I really wanted them to get to talk about their book. They'll gain confidence in their reading ability, and their comprehension scores will increase, their reading standards will be mastered, and also our K-Prep scores will increase. My reflection is that I have implemented this now, and my students are striving. They absolutely love the time with me, but they also love to really dig into one text a week and really get to know that story. I've noticed that my lower achieving students are really enjoying the book talks. Like the ones that wouldn't even write a sentence about what they read are now writing as they're reading, and they'll come up and share in front of the class everything that they read, and it shows me that they're really understanding, they're really comprehending. we've been doing this for several weeks, and now instead of me being the leader of the discussion, they are the leaders, which is awesome. And our comprehension scores are on the rise. They keep getting better. The end.